Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go! Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Come on, everybody, bring it in. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of TCL. It is opening day, opening evening for those of you on the East Coast. I am Jaws, joined by my main man, support from last year, Mr. Rudy, as we are going to see the Pickled packages taking on Definitely Not Trying. Although, from what we've heard, they might be trying a little bit, Rudy. It's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah, I'm excited to be back on the desk, to be casting with you, and for TCL Season 6 to get kicked off. As you said, we have a fiery one to start the season. A lot to talk about, but I'm just excited to be back on the sticks with all the boys. It's going to be a great time.
No, absolutely. It's going to be great. As we were saying, you and I both have nothing but time on our hands. I am week 11 into ACL surgery recovery. You just blew out your Achilles. So if nothing else, we can shout into a microphone and enjoy ourselves in one of the most wonderful sedentary activity, gladiatorial video game combat.
Dude, no joke. I was worried how much time I was going to be able to devote to my team this season for TCL. I was playing softball 2 nights a week and volleyball 2 other nights a week, but now I think I'm going to, I don't know, maybe try to get to plat or something in solo queue. I will have so much free time. It's going to be disgusting.
I mean, hey, Swordmaster got to master, so you know you're definitely going to be well on your way to platinum. But yeah, we've definitely got a couple of interesting things to look at as the teams are still getting into the lobbies. Looks like we're pretty close to getting going, but we've got the return of a couple of players that did not play last year. Autopsy in the top lane for Definitely Not Trying, and Fruget in the jungle for the Pickled packages, as well as the return to the mid lane of our returning champion from season 5 last season, Caridian, who straight up rolled in mid-season, put the team on his back, and carried them to the championship, running us over in the process. It was painful to experience, but it was also really, really fun to watch as they rolled through the finals, knocking out Abarn's team. Abarn producing tonight, shout out to him, but knocking out Abarn's team in a marathon. I believe it clocked in at a 5-hour best of 5. So awesome final to watch. And we're hoping that, this opening day will be just as explosive.
Dude, absolutely. I'm just so excited. I mean, Sandy Snake was a bit of TCL lore for you. My captain back in season 1. The man is just absolutely rock solid in the mid lane against, as you said, Caridian, a champion in and of his own right. Swordmaster climbing to masters in solo queue in jungle, no less. One of the most influential and least forgiving roles in the game right now. And then Fruge, man, the man, the myth, the ego. Him and his team, seeing how they work together, I think is going to be a real treat for us all this season. On the other side, you got Sandy, Sword, and Autopsy, who have been playing together for years and years and years. A little bit of a familial connection between the top and the mid. How do you think they're going to jive with that bot lane of Calvert and IREP?
I really feel like that's going to be the tale for this this game is how are the bot lanes going to stack up? Droid switching from support to AD carry. We've seen playoff Droid on support, making big plays, controlling the map, making great mid to late game calls, switching over to, still potentially being able to make the calls, but gonna have to focus a little bit more on himself and a little bit less on his team. Yeah. Swiss Army Cabinet has also been pretty spectacular. We were talking about it beforehand. Definitely has a little bit of a drop off as we get into Champion Select, and Gragas is the first ban towards the Pickled packages.
Yeah, and I going on the Droid thing there, I don't want to paint him into a corner, but I feel like we will see some Senna at a Droid this season, because last season that was a very, very solid pick for his team on AD, or when he was playing support, was getting that fasting Senna going with his AD carry. And I think Swiss is more than capable of playing the type of champions that you need to pair with that Senna, just the tanks, the Tahm Kench's, the Nautilus, whatever you want to go. So I expect to see that, if not tonight, at some point down the line from our newly minted Droid ADC.
Yes, definitely. And those are some of the matchups, on the side of definitely not trying. Autopsy, I believe, was the solo kill leader in Season 4 when he played. So when he plays and when he gets the champions that he wants and when he's feeling it, he can really take over a lane. On the other side, Calvert and IREP really got knocked around a little bit in some of their matchups. So it's a brand new season. It's a brand new day, but Jhin is still banned. Nobody wants to see Calvert on that champion. As the first round of bans are rounded out, we saw Urgot and Amumu.
Yeah,
off the table. Urgot being Autopsy's pocket pick. So yeah, and then Lee Sin. I didn't realize that
that'd be Fruge.
Is Lee Sin one of Fruge's champ? Because I know Caridian plays Lee Sin, but he's not jumping.
It makes sense. Like, I could see Fruge playing that. High skill cap, high just tolerance for being able to flex how much better you are than your opponents on top of them. That sounds like something Fruge would want to do. But Jarvan, first lock-in for Swordmaster. Champion is no stranger to TCL. That got that Bruiser AD engaged, ability to lock people down if they don't have any dashes to get over the wall. Great opening pick for the first pick of Season 6.
Yeah, and immediate response in the jungle. Speaking of putting the team into your backpack in the jungle, Viego for Fruge. I believe we saw Blitzkrieg a couple seasons back using Viego to devastating effect. Tony pulling him out last season, and the Jinx. So Droid is bringing the Jinx to the party, and that's a hyper carry if I've ever seen one. Gonna take a little bit to get going, but Jinx, she gets that one reset and she can run over a fight. That being said, he's picking it into a Jarvan, and that Jarvan terrain is gonna make Jinx's life a little bit miserable if he's not able to play around those cooldowns properly.
Absolutely. And I think I'd want to see something like a Lulu paired with that Jinx. I'm not sure how well that fits into Swiss's champ pool. Maybe a Rakan. I know he's pretty good at that, and Rakan is massively strong at the moment. And the Seraphine coming out for the bot lane of definitely not trying. We got some rumors that there might be some mage bot lanes coming out of Calbert and IREP over there, which, if you know IREP, the man's main is anti-flash. He enjoys doing things untraditionally. Oh, and a spicy cannon lock-in. That's got to go to Autopsy, right?
Yeah, I think that's kind of top. Oh, that'll be fun. I love Kennen.
Blind pick
Great
Kennen?
champion. Big harasser, and especially because music, J-Jazz,
potential.
Oh, gonna grab the
Yeah.
Darius. That's gonna be a skill. Oh no, come on, bud, lock it in. Oh darn! I was hoping we were gonna see the Darius Kennen because that's a razor's edge matchup, but no such luck. It's gonna be the Braum Jinx, so security detail gonna protect the Jinx. You were saying Rakan. Swiss has played Rakan historically in a couple of different situations as the second round of bans start, but I'm pretty sure that Seraphine is going to IREP. IREP has busted out the Seraphine in the support. He did that last season a couple of different times, and it created a fun little flex pick for that bot lane. As Corki is pulled off the table, one of Sandy Snake's signature champions. I will say, as the bans are flying Silas off the table for Caridian, Sandy has been playing a lot of Aurelion Sol. And Aurelion Sol, since the rework, fairly strong, does a lot of cool stuff, and with the engage and the utility that they already have, they need a lot of damage, and Aurelion Sol scales infinitely, so he's the kind of guy that can bring the deeps.
Yeah, another rework champion. Quick shout out to J Bob subscribing with his Amazon Prime sub in the chat. Reminder to everyone to like and subscribe to keep the TCL running. But yeah, shout out J Bob, first sub of the season. We'd love to see it. Asol would be super spicy. The Jace ban away from Sandy Snake. I guess that makes sense. Ban some AD mid laners out because they have the AP top coming through, with more AP coming from the bottom. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what Calvert does play here. Jin's gone. I don't think Tristana would pair too well with Seraphine. So how deep are we going to have to dig, or are we going to go sideways and ignore the vertical champ pool?
Yeah, they could do.
Spicy?
There's a couple of different directions they could do. As the last ban is Mordekaiser aimed directly at music, Azir locked in. So Caridian looking to scale, looking to bully, and looking to get that Jarvan and Kennen out of there. Love that as a counter pick for those champs. So this is going to be Autopsy's going to have to be super on point with his engages, probably grab a proto belt, grab flash. He's going to need to jump over that wall. Otherwise, he is going to be completely thwarted.
I love it. I don't know where that Rammus is going.
Oh my God. What is going on?
Okay, that's Jarvan support. IREP is playing Jarvan support.
Okay.
He's gotta be. He's gotta be.
I'm gonna let these picks settle down before I start making predictions. That's true. You can never count out IREP and what IREP wants to do, because IREP does what IREP pleases.
The flag max.
When IREP has an idea about something, he can usually build some spicy picks that pay off, as Yone is grabbed. So, all right, Rudy, take your pick. Also, side note, if anybody would like to help us break down these matchups, we got 3 minutes to kill. Y'all can jump into LOL 1. We will pull you up because this is going to be a wild ride already.
Yeah. Okay, I think I got it. It's easy. Kennen is Autopsy. Rammus is Sword. Yone is mid, and then it's Seraphine being played by Calbert and Jarvan being played by IREP. It's got to be. That's the only thing that makes sense. Yep, there it is. Well, they're all lining up.
Yeah, they have to show us what they're going to be playing.
Yep.
So
the amount of flexibility that having IREP on your team gives you during drafts is insane, as long as you're okay with him playing that champion in the bot lane.
Yeah, true. But I do love the Jarvan.
I love the Rammus. Anytime I see a Rammus pick, it gets me so excited. Rammus is such a fun champion, especially after the alt rework a couple seasons back. And quick note for all the TCL longtime fans out there, this is the first Kennen TCL ever, as called out in the chat. So that's very exciting. I think that leaves 4 champions. Spirit of Fate posted them in the Discord fairly recently. I can dig around and try to find them between games to give you the full rundown of who hasn't been picked. But very exciting, first time Kennen TCL. Let's see how it does.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty wild. The Cho'Gath Kennen pick can be bullied out, but the sustain, I really like the sustain against the Kennen because he's going to get a lot of free autos off, and he can really beat the Cho up. The skill matchup is that Lightning Rush versus the Rupture. So if Music can get one or two good kind of Rupture Scream combos and start chunking Autopsy down, I'm expecting a lot of some early mobility from Autopsy. Curious to see what build he's going to run. Is he going to go like run straight into the proto belt, look for team fight and utility, or is he going to go for the single target? I'm just going to beat the crap out of you and try to push Music out of lane. He does have some options. Considering it is fives, it's not solo queue. We'll see, but Autopsy does like to win his lane, and depending upon who you're looking at, win lane, win game. I'm expecting fireworks in this bot lane. I think we're going to see some wild and wacky dives between the Rammus and the Jarvan, and they're going to want to keep Droid out of the picture early.
I think that this is going to be a very boring bot lane. I don't see a lot of agency from either side. Jarvan can go in, but Seraphine isn't the type of champion that has the cooldowns or the damage early to really do much with it. So they're going to try to poke him down while Jinx and Braum stay safe and farm to 2.5 item power spikes to fight for those mid-game drags. And that's the win con there. I think that red side just needs to scale up through this, and blue needs to use the spiciness of their all-around lanes to create some chaos and maybe try just a little bit to get that dub before 35. Not that they don't scale fairly well, but Yone is really the only one that I'm going to see putting out consistent damage in these mid to late game team fights if we get to that point. So yeah. Sandy's going to need to make sure he does not get poked out too early by that Azir. Viridian really has the power to make Sandy's life miserable.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I think you're right. In the 2v2, the bot lane's definitely they're just gonna hang out in Farm City. But when you throw a Rammus in there, Sword is on the clock. He needs to snowball the game, and that's the thing that I'm finding so interesting. Normally, Sword likes to pick, engages, not necessarily tanky engages, but engages champions that can force the issue, but that also have that insurance policy, right? That post 25, post 30 minutes insurance policy. We're not really seeing that because Rammus he can fall off. I know he still scales fairly well, but he can fall off. Viego, on the other hand, just goes absolutely bananas in later on in team fights. So I gotta give in terms of the actual pick, I gotta give the jungle edge to Fruge. And Fruge's no slouch himself. Also, please tell me if it's Fruge or Fruge, y'all.
I've always said Fruge, but I don't. You can call him what you want.
He's got the accent, the Francais accent.
He does have the accent, but
yeah, he's got the accent, so it's Fruge to me. But anyway, and fancy Fruge grabbing one of the fanciest champions on Viego. Yeah, I mean, I think we're looking at definitely not trying. They're going to have to try pretty darn hard in the 20 minutes, in the first 20-25 minutes to snowball this game. Otherwise, the mid to late game scaling, yeehaw! They're going to be scooting away.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. That's for sure. One way or another, this is going to be. I don't know. This feels like one of those games where if Sword can't make something ridiculous happen, and if Autopsy doesn't bully the Cho'Gath out, it's gonna be just a matter of scaling from Squad Caridian.
Yep. And y'all, for those of you that are watching us, unfortunately, as we all know from recent times, the internet has been generally a little spotty across the board. My internet's been taking a poop. I don't know about you, Rudy, but everybody's internet has just been I don't know what's going on. The running joke is that ChatGPT has gained sentience and is slowly siphoning bandwidth away to start the robot uprising. But either way, I've definitely been seeing some spikes. So we will do our best. We'll just continue on as if we are streaming as normal, and just keep rolling.
Yeah, we'll do what we can to give you the best possible production value. At the moment, I'm seeing a lot of dark on the screen. We're about to load into game though. I'm going to assume that there's no invades going on. I sure hope not, because I don't want to miss the spiciness. But just bear with us as we try to get this figured out.
I'm actually having the same thing. So,
okay.
But yeah, I'm looking at this mid lane matchup, and it's really interesting because if I'm thinking about it, just in terms of zone control, Caridian should be able to beat Sandy up and push him in pretty hard. I would be curious to see if there's a cheese early micro buy against the Azir to try and get him to try and kind of get him pushed out of lane. Because as soon as Azir gets revved up, he's just gonna AFK auto push Sandy into tower, and Yone does not necessarily have the wave clear to deal with that. So Sandy's gonna have to get control of this lane early and make sure that he cannot do that. But we are into game one, y'all. Spam them if you got them. Rudy, who do you think is gonna take this game one?
I gotta give it to the Rammus. If I see a Rammus pick, my heart is instantly behind them. I mean, Swordmaster on Rammus, Autopsy on Kennen, IREP on Droid. Notably not taking Flash here, by the way. I'm gonna give it to the side of definitely not trying, and I've reflected that with my Twitch points. The prediction is live; it'll probably end here in a second. But if you want to get your gambling fix in, go do it now.
Yeah.
What about you? Who's your pick?
Internet points are in fact ego, so please, y'all, bet your ego, bet your heart, bet your soul. And yeah, I'm actually going to go the opposite. I actually think that I think Caridian's team is gonna roll through this. I think they've got the scaling, and I think that I just don't see. I think that's too much on. I think, hey, you know what? You're master jungler. You're like, hey guys, give me Rammus. I'm gonna go win us the game. I totally get that. I respect the hell out of that. I've watched a lot of TCL. I don't know. I've seen a lot of teams stall things out to 25, 30 minutes. I think Rammus is going to fall off, and I think that the Viego, Azir, Jinx triple threat is going to carry the day. And let's not forget Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath's no slouch when it comes to scaling as well.
He'll give you the scaling, but I mean, it's going to come down to what those team fights look like, right? Between Autopsy and Sandy Snake, they can 2v5 a team fight if they have to in this mid game. If both of their ults connect, that's just so much damage. But we have our predictions in. Hopefully you did too. Prediction is now closed. Getting into it here, we have, as you said, standard 5-point, everybody into lane now. Mirrored starts for the junglers, both starting on their red, so working to opposite sides. Probably won't see an early crab scuffle then, unless there's going to be some sort of invade. But yeah, here we are. Season 6, Game 1 TCL. IREP going for his E-Max build. Good gosh. Oh, going in for a bit of a trade.
Oh, wow, yeah, and Swiss Army getting really chunked out hard. And we're, as you said, no Flash, so I guess, you know, these two guys are just going to farm it out. You know, IREP, ooh, there's the disrespect. That's solid. I mean, and that's the thing with this Jarvan pick. He needs to make something happen.
Yeah,
immediately, and he has, right? He has. Look at this poke. This poke is just obnoxious coming out of this Jarvan. They are opening themselves up to a potential gank from the Viego, who is on the bottom side, working his way down. So he may be rolling in, but right now Swiss looks like he's going to have to back off, and he might have to back early.
Yeah, Swiss has got to leave. That's a first blood waiting to happen between the Ignite and the Flag. Let alone the drag, although I don't think a level 2 dive is what we want to do. But as you said, Jarvan needs to take advantage. If you're going to play Jarvan support, you got to do the poking early, because you are going to fall off in terms of usefulness. Calvert walking straight at Fruge right now. Fruge does get rooted up, going to be able to walk away just fine. Took some damage, but has full cleared his entire jungle, going on to Scuttle right now. Slightly ahead of the Rammus. That makes sense in terms of clear speed. But as we said, both of them full clear into opposite scuttles.
Yeah, what an interesting. Yeah, Calvert. We were just, you know, Calvert in general. He can make some plays, but he's more focused in this team about doing his job, right? Like he wants. This is going to be, if they're going to win, it's going to be the Sandy Snake show with IREP just doing some shenanigans, and Autopsy trying to beat up that lane early. Calvert, great ward early to look out, and this is, I think this is exactly what Calvert and IREP wanted in the early lane. As we see gank coming in from Fruge, cloaked in, he's channeling, gonna try to get in, flash in, gets the stun, gets Sandy going down, but here comes the counter engage from Sword, taunting down onto the Viego. Sandy's gonna try to get Fruge down, that's gonna be first blood. Rammus getting the kill, another airborne knockup from Caridian. Caridian gets the wall, great flash over the wall, and he is going to be able to get away for now, but here comes Rammus. This is why he is a giant pain in the rift.
God, I love Rammus!
Yes! Welcome to TCL Season 6 Swordmaster. 2 kills, enjoy yourself.
So exciting, so exciting. Rammus 2-0 to start the game, has both kills. Sure, would it have better? But sure, would it have been better if Yone got one of them? Yes. Am I so excited the Sword got both of them? Hell yes, that's incredible. So yeah, Sandy just doing exactly what he needs to. Kite up to the jungle there. Rammus running in. The amount of CC you have between your ball and the taunt, awesome. We love to see it. Sandy not even blowing flash there in that fight, while Creating has to use both summoners and still dies.
Yeah, that was just great play by great counter engage, right place, right time by the Rammus, and that's the great thing about him is he could just chase you down. And Sword Show. So here's the thing: we've seen this movie before, Rudy. We've casted plenty of Tony series, right? That was the entire. The entire narrative was, and I think Tony bust out the Rammus, but here comes the follow-up engage. Slam. Did he not taunt? I don't know
why he didn't taunt before he walked out. He could have pulled him back a few steps into Yone's range.
Okay.
Oh, misses the Jinx misses
that would have.
On a stun.
I'll tell you right now, if he had connected on that, gotten the taunt, they kill Caridian again. That is exactly what they want in the mid lane. Sandy grabbing his Zerker's Greaves, Fruge trying to make something happen. Autopsy getting away. Flash very respectful of Fruge, but music
maybe too
fairly low.
He has
actually,
6
yeah, maybe a little over respectful. Yeah.
He had 6. Well, the other 2 are both level 5. Again, I don't know the exact numbers on that, but he could. Oh, we'll see. I guess right now, Cho'Gath does have ult this time though. So
yes, he does. Is able to ult both of them. It is a 1v2, but there's the rupture. Not able to get away. An immediate repeat gank. Fruge gonna steal away that Kennen soul. He's gonna pretend to be Kennen for a little bit, and he is in this game. Never gonna count out a Viego.
No, you're not. Not when he can take your entire sense of being and make it his own. I don't know. Maybe Autopsy missed his window there. I think without Cho'Gath's Munch, that fight goes a little bit better, but perhaps he knows the limits of the champion better than I do. So the flash away, good. The regank by Fruge, even better.
Yeah, and that is going to be, while that was happening, the top Sword immediately looking for the dragon, grabs it away, and that is going to be still a relatively even game in terms of gold. Slight advantage on the side of Definitely Not Trying, who are, I'm just going to keep doing it until someone yells at me. They are trying. Y'all ain't fooling anybody. Sword, one of the biggest tryhards in this league, and we love him for it because he makes incredible plays. The Smite Master, he's got a bunch of different nicknames, but they are trying to snowball this game, as I mentioned. Early Zerks coming out from Sandy to try to snowball this lead with the 2 assists. Still down about 10 CS, and if we're looking across the map, bit of a farm advantage for Fruge, a bit of a farm advantage for Caridian, slight farm advantage for Calbert. So despite the 2-kill advantage on the Rammus as well as the Yone, there's still a lot of League Legends to be played, and only one dragon
looking for the dive.
down. But the charm, Sandy going for the dive, gets the kill. IREP tanking. He's going to go down himself. So the return kill, 1 for 1. Support 480 carry, but Swiss rolling in. Swordmaster trying to make something happen. They're trying to juggle aggro, but Sandy's going to go down. This is a potential disaster. Swordmaster is able to survive. That's going to be a double kill, so they salvage it. But that was, I believe, a 2 for 1, and probably should not have been that messy.
I think 3 for 1 all said.
It wasn't the 3 for 1.
3 for 1. A little bit messy. I think the issue there was Sandy R'd before he W'd, so he couldn't snap out immediately. He had to walk out before he snapped. And barely caught, I think he only caught 1 with the edge of his ult. But honestly, that's absolutely a worth play. And man, Swordmaster 4-0 on the Rammus, has the Bramble, has the steel-plated ninja tabbies. I know that's not what they're called, but that's what they are in my mind. Spicy stuff coming out of that bot lane dive.
Yeah, that was like the rope-a-dope, where it just seemed like all of them were going to die. And at first glance, I thought that it was going to be that one extra tower shot that was going to knock them out, but they did such a great job of juggling the tower aggro and just taking advantage, as you said, of that Rammus tankiness. As Fruge rolling in, trying to steal himself a blue, and I can't quite see if he got it, but we're going to have a 2v2. Fruge getting low. IREP is there. Sandy Snake's going to try to join the party. Fruge is going to go down. Music is going to return the kill. Rupture bouncing up, Sandy dashing through. He is slicing and dicing and sword boying his way to another kill. That is a 2-for-1 in favor of definitely not trying, and they're going to take themselves a Rift Herald for the trouble as we hit the 10-minute mark.
I was going to criticize IREP there for going on to music and keeping him out of that fight instead of just trying to blow up Fruge, because once Sword blows his combo, he doesn't have a lot that he can do in terms of damage. But you know what? It worked out just fine, so no criticism needed. Worst part of that entire play, as we see some more action in midline, was that our Rammus now has an assist instead of a kill. So 5-0-1, it's fine. They're also going to take the Rift Herald on the back of that. Some great roaming around from IREP, already back in the bot, supporting his ADC. But Seraphine, now that she has the Lost Chapter, now that she has the tier, perfectly capable of just clearing waves and trying to keep them off of that turret, while IREP does enable things around the map.
That's very true, and that's something we haven't really discussed, is not only just IREP just dropping the flag in the general minion wave and saying, I dare you to walk up in CS. It's the fact that Calvert with the Lost Chapter is going to be able to out in a war of attrition, in a wave clearing battle, as we see. Speaking of wave clearing battle, nah, they'd rather just fight. Swiss Army is incredibly low. Rom ult hits absolutely no one. Swiss Army forced to flash out. Here comes Rammus, forcing the flash, gets the taunt, knock up. See you later. Droid going down. IREP getting the kill. Bloodthirsty support. Fruge a little late to the party, and as a result, he goes down to 2-for-0. Almost perfect kill participation. Rift Herald drops. I'm eating my words. This Rammus is nasty.
Did you see how fast he came in there? God, I love that champion. Perfect ult, flashing after the Jinx's flash. Oh my gosh, 5-0-3, as you said. Which kill didn't he participate in? Was there a solo kill in the bot? Or maybe on the dive he missed one. That must have been it.
Yeah, I think he, well, maybe. Oh, wow.
Sandy with the solo kill.
Woof. Yeah, this could not be going better for definitely not trying. No. These are exactly the win conditions we discussed, right? Rammus getting going, getting the Yone going so that the Azir cannot start scaling. He is also sitting on a Lost Chapter as well. Has a little bit of a CS lead. Can I see the gold, please, as well? I want to see how much gold he has in the tank. Doesn't really have a lot of gold in the tank either, so that's what he has right now. And if he wants to get kind of that first item and get rolling and be an Azir, he's going to need to do it pretty quick. Sandy, woo, fancy footwork, nicely done. He's going to get out of there, no problem. Can I go back to the items, please? As Dragon is being contested once again. This is Dragon number 2, going to be an Earth Soul. As we see Flash coming in, Fruge trying to grab it. It is, however, Sword Master, Master of Smite, mastery level in ranked, and he is mastering this game. Actually, sorry, Infernal Soul, my bad. Swiss Army getting melted down. He's going to go down. Sandy's on a killing spree. The carries are carrying. The snowball is rolling. This game is firmly in the hands of definitely not trying. Start knocking down those outer towers, boys. You are on your way to a game 1 victory. Just got to not throw.
Yes, that is just beautiful. That's the 2 Drakes up 8 kills right now. Farm, who cares about it, you know? They're farming minions, we're farming champions. Love to see it. And with that Drake secure, just calling out Calbert's plays for, I haven't talked too much about him. He's been doing exactly what he needs to. Has had a couple of beautiful Seraphine ults, just going all the way through. And I'm looking forward to the team fighting that Autopsy will bring eventually. Music, probably at 4 stacks, I'd say, so far, between what I know he got at least 1 on Champion. He flashed after IREP to get that kill earlier when Fruge was invading the blue. But he's scaling up too. It's definitely...
Rudy, he is at 6.
He's at 6? Okay.
He's at 6. He's stacking away.
There we go.
And we were talking about kind of which cannon build will it be. I see the alternator, probably going to be seeing the belt, get the little dash, get the utility. Let's be real, he doesn't really need the damage, considering how ahead Sandy Snake is right now. And then Calvert, as you said, getting his items. Mythics starting to hit, right? We got Leandries on Calvert. We've got Shield Bow on Yone. So, but on the other side, you know, Divine Sunder just hit for Viego as well as Joksho. So there are some of the items are starting to hit on the side of the pickle packages, but the damage and the items and the gold are on the right people on the side of definitely not trying, and that
I don't think Rammus
really seems
wanted
to be
that
the way to be.
Absolutely. They have the game in their hands right now, but they need to make sure they don't take their foot off the gas. Because as we talked about, the Azir, the Jinx, the Viego, the Cho'Gath, they are, and obviously Braum too, but to a lesser extent as the tank, or as the utility in the support role, they are going to get outscaled. They need to make sure that they are doing what they can to take everything available on the map, forcing these fights around Dragon, because that's what the game is right now, you know? How strong are you for those mid-game fights, and who can get to that soul point first? You with me, Jaws? Okay, we have a bit of a...
Oh, no, I was just muted. Doop,
Okay.
doop. Herp derp. My bad.
All good. All good.
I was saying like 60 minutes in, I was like, oh man, my game state is it that? Is it that? But that's slow. But the game's gonna speed up again. Wow, Swordmaster dominating. Yeah, it seems like at this point they are one taunt away from absolute murder. Sword rolling in, being hyper aggro, doing what he does best, going to initiate. We are in a double tower dive situation. Emperor's Divide goes out trying to stop the bleeding, but it is a band-aid on a bullet wound. Kennen coming in, trying to get in on the action. That is going to be, as soon as music goes down, nice return kill on him. He is a tanky boy. He gets the shutdown onto IRAP, but he is dead. That is an ace. 5 for 1. Mid-outers going down, and they may be able to take the mid-inner as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's beautiful. They're going to get this turret here. I can't quite make out the timers right now, but IREP doing what IREP does and enabling the rest of the team. The man has picked up 4 kills at some point. I don't know when that happened, but, you know, the Jarvan support, I hate it. I hate to play against it. I'm glad it's working out so well for him.
Oh,
maybe they
man,
don't knock down this mid turret. Wow.
Very aggressive teleport from Caridian. It looked like it looks like the dragon, because the dragon's coming up in less than a minute. Oh, okay. All of Definitely Not Trying is backing. Are they gonna concede this? No way. Yeah, there it is. There's the flash. Flash in from Swordmaster. Gonna force the flash out from Fruge.
Get in there.
And they're gonna keep going. Man, the rundown on this team between the Kennen and the Rammus. There's the Yone ult. Gonna be able to get a lot of damage. The knockup, he is a little bit deeper than he would like, but Droid is coming in. The health bars are low. Could this be the comeback play? Come on, Droid, get in there. They are so low. Get the resets, man. Don't let him just throw their wallet at you. Oh, he's so close. The Kennen stunned. He's going to get it down. He's going to get the double kill. But it's a 3-4-3, and we have life in the Pickled packages as that dragon spawns. Swordmaster on the run. Oh, boy.
It must have just been the fact that they didn't spend their money after that ace and really wanted to knock down that mid turret and didn't have the cooldowns as well, because that Kennen ult, I didn't check to see, but if that was available earlier, Autopsy trolled a little bit by not using it. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say it just came back off cooldown after the previous fight mid, and he used it well there at the end just to get the Jinx before he himself dropped back to Fountain. But that does give the Dragon pressure over to the side of the Pickled packages, and that is a much needed Dragon. Unless Sword can get in for the steal.
Well, he definitely could, and this thing is not going down as fast as they would like. They do have a Cho'Gath, so if they can get it low enough, they should be able to get the guaranteed hit. Here comes the Smite. Smite was down. Smite's back up. Sword's going low. Sword's trying to get it. The Dragon resets. Sword, legendary, knocking out the Cho'Gath, and the rest of his team is rolling in, but they are still low. Chaotic fight in and out, and is it going to happen? However, the triple kill, the Quadra, not quite.
Dragon still has
gonna snap away the Quadra, and just like that, Definitely Not Trying slams the door on the Pickled package's fingers. Owie.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about how beneficial getting that dragon would be, preventing them from getting 2 soul points, buying themselves a bit of time to scale up, but that is not how it worked out. Dragon went down way too slow, gave Sandy time to get in himself. Him and Sword, story of the game, bought enough time for the rest of the team to catch up, and man, Sword just dancing on a hair's edge right there, getting away with 2 HP, dodging the Jinx W, playing an amazing game to start the season, showing us that he has not wasted his time off.
No, not at all. We are at soul point at this point. The game is going exactly the way that Definitely Not Trying has been wanting it to, as Caridian on the run, being forced to pop his stopwatch. Doesn't even have the Zonias yet. Finally got his Mythic. Has level 2 boost, but not much else as we see a potential pick-off. Nah, it's not. That's a bait and a half, 4v3. Kennen counter-engage. See ya later, Swiss. And it's just not going to be much else as Music getting the return kill onto IREP. He's getting low. He is tanky, buying enough time for his team. Droid trying to punch as much as he possibly can. Autopsy, however, going to finally finish the kill. Charm goes down onto Droid. Droid is going to follow Swordmaster getting the kill, and now it is a 1v3. Taunt away, double kill. See ya later, 4-4-1, and in the bot lane, Sandy Snake is split pushing away. He's going to go back and buy something as the top outer goes down.
Yeah, I loved seeing Sword just 2v1 in the backline there while Fruge tried his absolute best to get through all of the CCs and the slows from the Seraphine and the Kennen, but he just couldn't make it. Got whittled down, and Sword eventually is like, okay, got these two down, your turn. Came back and finished them off. Man, 11-0-13 on the Rammus. That is insane.
Yeah, it really is. And part of me wonders, is it the Rammus or is it just Swordmaster? Because Rammus, really strong, great snowball-y champion, but Sword is piloting him incredibly well, because you could say, oh, well, we'll just ban Rammus. He's still got Vi. He's got Vi. He's got a bunch of different champions that all do a lot of the same thing. So I don't know if the Rammus itself as a pick is, looking forward to game 2, because barring a monumental throw, they're 13,000 gold up. This game 1 they got to be thinking, hey guys, game 1's in the bag. Let's squeeze them to death, right? We got soul point. We could potentially Baron if we wanted to. We could just throw our wallet at these guys. It's an infernal soul as well. So they'll take a 5v5 dragon fight any day of the week. If I'm Pickled Packages, what am I going to do to stop this? Because it's a best of 3. You got to stop it for game 2 as we see Baron looking to be grabbed.
Yeah, I mean, not the fastest Baron in the world if we do talk about the positives, right? You don't have that well, I guess you have Sandy Snake on the run. I'm wrong. Baron's going to go down plenty quick. Sword not taking damage right now as he tanks. Has 3 completed items plus boots. If they take the 5v5 here, Kennen I'd like to see Kennen stay on the flank here and look for that engage.
Yep. Yeah, we're definitely seeing the engage. Swiss tanking as much damage as he can, but he is woefully behind. Sandy on an absolute rampage. Hard backline dive onto the Viego. Viego goes down. Swordmaster's Legendy. Emperor's Divide trying to delay the inevitable, but there's the taunt. There's the dead Cho'Gath. Not able to get his stacks back, so not able to be as tanky.
Rammus isn't done yet.
Ducking, diving, and dodging, but he is going to die. Final taunt going down. That's the ace, and this could very well, are they going to Baron or are they going to walk? They're jumping back and forth. It looks like they're going to try to walk this one in. They should be able to at least get an inhibitor, potentially a little bit more. Oh, no, yeah, okay, they're just going to walk back and get the Baron. They are in no rush.
Playing it slow, that's another TCL classic, 13-0-14, if we're keeping an eye on the Rammus scoreline. Love to see it. That Jinx had a good 5-second head start, did not make a difference. Rammus just rolling right after. The Emperor's Divide finally inconvenienced him. Really, well placed by Caridian, but in the end of the day, just didn't matter. As you said, at the moment, it's a matter of just throwing their wallets. The first 6 or 7 seconds of that team fight, it was 4v5. Autopsy was on the flank, but he was flanking the other side of the Baron Pit, and they just fought it forward, so he caught up there at the very end and, proto-belted onto the, I think it was Fruge. It must have been Fruge there to knock him out, but man, this is one of those games where you take a look and you say, okay, how do we play it? How do we stall it out? Or do we just preserve mental, do what we can, not throw, but look forward to game 2 in this series?
Yeah, if I'm looking at this, I think it'd be really tough to look at. I'm just trying to get to 50 minutes. What is Win gonna do here? They're going to go get Infernal Soul right now, and the Yone is absolutely out of control right now. They've got a two item Seraphine. Their Jarvan is building full damage.
Are you surprised?
Oh, sorry, not full damage. She's got the Radiant Virtue. Music is going to have to flash out, and at this point, it is just padding the stat line. They've got the channel, the charm. Oh, the backup charm! No, that was gorgeous. from Calbert, catching Droid, who just walked up a little bit too much. Gets the back end of the Seraphine ult to the face. And it's just, like you said, just rolling all the way through. And it is a mock truck running the Pickled packages down. And it's just going to be green goop at the end of this game. Oh my God, they're just rolling in. Y'all, you gotta drop the inhibitor first. Yep, gotta do it by the numbers. Unfortunately, League of Legends kind of cruel that way. And you see the ace finalized. That is gonna do it. Game 1, an absolute slaughter from Definitely Not Trying on the back of the first Kennen TCL, first Kennen dub TCL. Well played. And yeah, Pickled Packages got some thinking to do. Oh, well, there we go. Okay, yeah, definitely Pickled Packages definitely have some thinking to do as they mentally reset for Game 2.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to play standard League of Legends with their draft. I don't think there's anything wrong with their draft, but IREP and Sword said, nah, we're going to have some fun tonight. Final scoreline on that in Rammus, 13-0-17. The man was in 30 different kills there, and it was so much fun to watch. I don't know if we'll get to see it again in Game 2. That's got to be something you think about. But honestly, you can't let the Jarvan and the Rammus have that much agency in the early game. That was, as you said, a slaughter.
Yes, it truly was. And let's just take a look at the damage graph. Oh, interesting.
Oh.
Surprisingly, Kennen, I said before, he doesn't have to build damage. He's going to deal it, though. Dealing a ton of damage. Seraphine as well. I got to say, the Sandy Snake Yone pick, I'm going to need a producer check or a chat check if Sandy has run Yone before. I haven't seen him on it, but it's a fun little new pick. He has? Okay.
Yeah, one note for me from this graph, every single member of Definitely Not Trying outdamaged the top damage dealer from the Pickled packages. That is not what you want to see when you're trying to win a game of League of Legends.
No, it certainly isn't. So we are actually going to give them a little bit of a breather to catch their breath. I'm going to catch my breath. Maybe you'll get ice to the knee.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with Game 2. Pickled Packages looking to get some redemption. Take it to a Game 3 against Definitely Not Trying. Don't go anywhere, folks. Season opener. Hey everybody, welcome back. Game 2 of our season opener, Season 6, Week 1, Day 1, as is tradition. Got to shout them all out. I'm Jaws alongside Rudy, watching a fairly abusive Game 1 by Definitely Not Trying on the back of the Sword Master Rammus. We were asking ourselves, will he be able to get the snowball rolling? The answer was yes, absolutely. Early double kill, ran away with it. Sandy Snake just going ham. As we said, the every single member of Definitely Not Trying out damaged the highest damaged member of the pickle packages. So they were absolutely cruising. Question for me, Rudy, is going to be what changes are pickle packages going to need to make in order to
Yeah.
get this thing going to a game 3?
So we talked about it. The pickle pack just picked scaling last time, but they never got a chance to scale because of some excellent play, both from the jungle and the support, getting some early roams in that resulted in some plays. So I want to see a bit more agency out of them. The Azir went even, maybe a little bit ahead on CS in lane with the Yone, but the Yone was able to pair up for those bot lane dives and make things happen. Cho'Gath did okay keeping Cannon on island in the top, but wasn't really able to make too much of an impact, at least not the sort of impact that the Cannon ult's going to. And Braum Jinx were a bit of a non-factor that entire time. Like, I didn't look at their kill participation for the few kills that they did manage to knock down, but there wasn't a ton happening that they were able to be involved in because Braum's going to stick in Jinx's pocket, and Jinx has got to get a couple items to be super relevant in those fights,
Yeah, and,
for them
and
to
it
get
didn't
excited.
look like a droid in particular was very comfortable on his positioning on the Jinx.
Mhm.
He had a couple of moments where he just stepped up that, it's
To
that
be
one thing where if
fair,
you haven't played AD
Rammus is
carry in a
hard
while,
to position against.
yeah, where like, it's the thing where like if you haven't played AD in a while and you just make that one extra step
Hmm.
ahead, and credit to Calbert especially on the
Yeah.
Seraphine. I
Oh
remember
my
that
gosh,
one
great ult.
that
Great ult.
one Seraphine ult where he caught him right on the back edge. I mean the game was pretty much out of hand at that point, as we see. Speaking of Calbert, Jin ban,
Mhm.
Gragas ban. Curious who that Gragas ban is aimed at.
That's got to be
Maybe potentially
Fruge. It's got to
I've
be,
heard,
yeah.
I know Gragas mid has been a thing. I know Gragas can go a lot of different places, so
Yikes.
curious where that band's come from. Seraphine band though, that's a
Hmm.
great band. Yes, Calbert was able to do a lot with and
Yeah.
not really feel a lot of pressure. As
No.
we see the Lee Sin band as well.
Yeah, the Seraphine plus the Jarvan made that a very, very free lane into the low pressure of the Jinx Braum. So taking that out of the equation is going to force them to do something different, make that, and that's a fine strategy here, right? If you don't think the Rammus was the problem, I think it was more of an issue of how the others around it snowballed. Make them change something up as well. Oh, they're just
Okay,
saying, we
yeah,
had enough of that bot lane.
that was
Okay.
well. I'm trying to figure out. I'm not as versed. I don't know if Jarvan support is meta now. I did my best to
I
catch up
don't think
for
it's meta.
2023, but
No.
since it's IREP, I'm assuming
IREP
it's just
hasn't
like
carried.
some wild shenanigans that he came up
Mhm.
with. That E damage, that E harass was just obnoxious level
It's
1.
incredible
And
early.
it got them to level 2, it pushed them to tower, and it set up the tower dive beautifully. So yeah, makes a ton of sense of why they are banning that out, because that was just rough.
Yeah, I mean, they said the problem wasn't the Rammus. The problem was how pressured we felt around the map. Taking that off the board and locking in the Amumu, which is one of the bans that they dropped. I'm curious to see where that goes. That doesn't seem like much of a Fruge champion to me, so that's, in my estimation, going to go to Swiss. Like, if it was picked the other team, I'd say that that's definitely going to go to Sword. Not definitely. I'm sure Irish can play too, but I would expect that to go to Sword. But that doesn't feel like Fruge. I think that's going to be a supportive movement, which is still a perfectly viable thing to play. Was not as popular as it was last season, but and the Silas picked up instantly
Let's
as a
go.
counter.
Yeah, well, they had to let something through.
That's a
And
great
so,
ult
yeah,
to
it's gonna
steal.
be the Silas. I will say I love the Amumu. If Swiss is taking him, yeah, I agree with you, Fruge. Unless Fruge felt like the team needed an engage, and
Sure.
he's confident that he can kind of jungle. Amuma's one of those champs, you can jungle him into pretty much anything as long as.
Mhm.
Although with sword, I gotta say though, this is not
Oh.
Sword 1.0. Let's go. Is this going to be a Rumble in the jungle? A Rumble in the
I
jungle?
think it is, which is also a pick away because Sandy's mid rumble is nasty.
That is
I
true.
really,
Yeah.
really like the rumble. Again, another great ult for Silas to steal, and I'm sure I hope I'm wrong about this, But that's a lot of magic damage coming out. The MF pick,
I gotta say,
there's a
I really
chance
hope
that
it's a
goes to
Rumble and the
fucking
Jungle
IRAP.
because I've never
Yeah.
seen Music play Rumble. We've had, I remember last season when we were doing some top lane labbing, we were talking about it, and he was like, yeah, I don't really play as much Rumble. And I was like, we could talk about it. You know me, I love Rumble. But yeah, and then Kiana in the mid. So yeah, I think this is going to be a Rumble in the Jungle. This is fascinating. And then Veigar. Ooh, Sandy Snake on the wait, hold up. No, that's a support Veigar.
It could be that could be an AD Veigar.
I'm so confused. Actually, yeah, you're right. You're right. They did say they were going to do some mages.
I bet that is MF support and Veigar is going to be played by Calvert.
Okay. Yeah, these drafts are just...
Again, after the Jarvan last game, I was starting to say it, but I'm not going to get baited again by thinking I know what IREP is going to play. We saw MF support back in the day when Zyra was super prevalent because MF outranged Zyra and could like poke down the plants and everything like that. I don't think we've seen it much except in like super niche scenarios because the ult really needs some stats to back it up to make it have that punch. But you know, maybe it's IREP. He's probably going to go like some burn build and just what is that, Emax, and try to poke him out with the bullet rain, hail of bullets, whatever it's called. I'm not sure.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little distracted by this Sivir ban. If I understand it correctly, like I know Sivir in general is good and organized, but my understanding is she got nerfed into the ground, and the new season has not been kind to her. But maybe I'm missing something, and maybe it was more of like a kind of a pocket utility pick. As we
my
see,
guess is
interesting. The Jinx
they're just banning
so
out
now they're
whatever
attacking
droid might be the most comfortable.
Droid's pool, and they're gonna dare him onto something else. Okay.
Yeah, I think the idea here is just. It's always a conversation we have in TCL, right? Comfort on the champion versus champion's place in the current meta. And you have to find that balance within yourself because you could play the top win rate champion, right? In professional play. That doesn't mean you yourself are going to do well on it with the team and as an individual. Sivir, maybe not the strongest individual laner team fighter at the moment, but she's still Sivir, right? She's going to scale. She's going to have bouncing boomerang. She's going to have her spell shield to play safe and speed up the entire team. So taking her off the board, if that's something Droid's comfortable with, I have no problem with it. The Nocturne ban, I'm a little bit sad to see because I think that'd be super, super fun to see sword play. But that does make it a very good ban too. Oh, and instead they're just picking some beef.
Okay. The classic comfort pick. I was actually gonna say this is not Swordmaster 1.0. This is Swordmaster 2.0. This is the Sword Master, actual master. But Zach is one of his go-to win the game picks, and I was honestly expecting more of a bruisery, but Zach is basically an AP bruiser, as we see the Ezreal being grabbed, as you were saying. I actually I saw that on his OPGG he does have some Kai'Sa, so I was thinking that maybe he was going to go with the Kai'Sa, but no, it looks like he's going to grab the Ezreal, and yeah, it looks like Caridian and Fruge are saying it's time for us to carry. Music probably going to see something tanky. Oh, never mind. Music plays Jace.
Back to him.
Okay.
Hey, team, let me do it. I promise it'll go well, pick.
Guys, I swear.
You know, if you say it often enough, if you say anything often enough, eventually you're going to be right?
I mean, in this meta, Jace is really strong, so I get it. There's the Malphite pick.
Is that good into Jace?
I mean, it can be. He's stacking armor against the Jace. It depends. I haven't seen the matchup, so I don't know it as well. Like, I can't remember the last time Jace was good when I was playing. It was like when he came out. It was like he like came out and he was okay, and then I think like some itemization changed and he became just god tier, and then he got nerfed to the ground and then wasn't seen for many seasons. But yeah, we got some spice here. And is that a support? That is a support misfortune. Okay, yes, yeah. And IREP has run this, and it is the make it rain, spam, and it's once again, it's the same kind of thing, right? Like that seems to be what he likes to run. He likes to run the
slightly
I'm gonna harass really hard with one ability early, try to get kind of a cheesy level 2 push, and then go from there. But they've got 2 no mobility carries against an Amumu. Interesting.
That's true. And they have like the only ADC who can get out of the baby cage that Veigar is going to throw down. So I think Ezreal, really smart pick from Droid, can play it super safe, try not to get poked out, farm from a distance with those Qs, and just do the best you can to stay alive. I think the Jace pick is not my favorite. I would have loved to see some boof there, like a Scion. I think Scion would have been pretty mega there because right now you're kind of relying on Swiss to be your only form of engage unless Kiana gets an interesting flank. And having Scion in the middle of the mix with like the Rumble ult over top could have been cool, but I mean they're just saying somebody's got to carry here, right? We're gonna throw it all at the wall. Somebody's gonna get fed, and they're gonna be the one who bring us to victory.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, break
I'm
down
with
the
you.
other
I'm
side
with you,
for
Rudy.
us. Let's take a look
Actually,
at red side.
the
Oh,
more
good.
the more you're saying, the more I'm smiling and nodding because I
Mhm.
agree. This is an Ornn game for music.
Sure. Yeah. Ornn Scion's something that can stand in the front and do
Yeah.
some CC, keep him on the Rumble ult. That's
Well,
what I wanted
yeah.
to
Well,
see.
also, yeah. The Ornn and Rumble, a good Ornn ult, and music has great Ornn ults. A good Ornn ult is going to set up the Kiana Rumble. Kiana Rumble
Mhm.
can engage. Kiana's super mobile. Kiana can get where the action is. A good Ornn ult sets up this entire team. It
Yeah.
also creates another option. Right now, all of the engage pressure is on Swiss.
Yep.
That's a tough situation to be in. We'll see how this game 2 goes, but looking
Especially.
at the side of the excuse me, definitely not trying. Still trying to learn all these team names. Definitely not trying. They have so many engage tools. They've got great scaling. They've
Mhm.
got a lot of different options, and on the other side, we've got a lot of dependencies. Jace has to get his items. Ezreal has to get his items. Kiana kind of has to snowball, and Rumble can get. There's a lot of tools on the side of definitely not trying that can make
Mhm.
Rumble's life absolutely miserable. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a quick 2-0 for definitely not trying, an early night for us.
Yeah, I hate to agree with you because I think it's more fun when we disagree. But my money is also on definitely not trying in this matchup. It does seem like both teams kind of pick towards comfort, right? You have Sword on Zac, Sandy on Silas, Irep on something that's going to annoy everybody in the entire game, including your own team. But it just came together much, much more cohesively than it did on the other side, right? If we look at the 5v5, unless you get a god tier layered alt from the Amumu and the Rumble, with Kiana coming afterwards, just smashing people up, the Malphite, the Zac, the Silas with his own Rumble alt, or Kiana alt, or Amumu ult, that's just so much ability to mess you up. MF ult, as we said, we're gonna see if he goes AP with that. I hope he doesn't, because we already have AP coming from everybody, like literally every other person on the team.
Yeah.
Like he's got to build some AD here. Now that I think about it for half of a second, but it's as a team fight a lot more cohesive. They don't have to worry about that single damage source nearly as much as they would have if there was an Ornn or a Scion or something tanky to try to shred through, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. And for those of you, Rudy, I believe our degenerate internet point betting is live. So if you
Mm-hmm.
want to agree, disagree, go for the glory. Will your team's way to a game 3?
Yeah.
Please do so. However, my ego points are definitely not trying because they are looking real strong, and a lot of things need to go right for pickled packages, and there's a lot more cushion and a lot more options and a lot
Mhm.
more opportunity for the comp of definitely not trying.
Yeah, but also this is TCL. We just saw Ramos go 13-0-17. We like the team comp more from definitely not trying, but the pickle packages aren't done quite yet. You know, every single one of them could pop up on their champs. So go in there, bet on who you'd like. I'm already up like 6,500 channel points on the night. So please
Oh,
give me
all right.
your money, and we'll see how it goes here.
Yes, we certainly will. As we're going in to this game, and yeah, we were saying before, definitely not trying. I'm going to be curious to see how the junglers are going to start up, and if Fruge is going to be more aggressive earlier or
Hmm.
not.
I think he was almost too aggressive early, right? I mean, that's the first thing that happened was that 2-0 in the mid lane or mid upper river. Just didn't go well for them. The Ramos able to rotate down. Fruge and Sandy, or not, sorry, Fruge and Crittian both dying. So if Fruge is aggressive, I need to see him do it very intelligently. Like make sure you know where Sword is, because that elastic slingshot could pull you just right into the same situation where it goes from 2-1 to 2-on-2 with both of us CC'd real quick.
Yeah, it really can. And yeah, there's the counter ganks from the Zac are going to be pretty nasty. But yeah, I'm actually curious